Margaret Harris was bone-tired. The kind of tired that settles deep into your bones after working 2 shifts back-to-back, her morning waitressing job at the diner, followed by an evening cleaning offices downtown. At 58, she sometimes wondered how much longer her body could keep up this pace. Soft breath. But then she'd think of little Emma, her 3-year-old granddaughter sleeping peacefully in her arms, and she knew the answer. As long as this child needed her, she'd find the strength somehow. A moment of reflection. The city bus rumbled through the darkening streets, its interior glowing with that familiar fluorescent warmth. Margaret had boarded at the financial district stop, grateful to finally sit down. Emma, worn out from a long day at her neighbor's makeshift daycare, had fallen asleep almost immediately. Her small body curled trustingly against Margaret's chest. Gentle pause. The bus wasn't crowded at this hour, that quiet time between rush hour and evening when the city takes a breath. Margaret's eyes grew heavy as she watched the streetlights blur past the window. She tried to stay alert, counting stops, but exhaustion pulled at her like a gentle tide, a knowing tone. Her head began to nod, dipping forward, then jerking back up. She fought it for a while, the way we all do. But eventually, without quite meaning to, her head tilted sideways and came to rest on something solid and surprisingly comfortable. Soft transition about the man sitting beside her, a distinguished-looking gentleman in his early 60s with silver-touched dark hair and kind eyes, felt the gentle weight settle against his shoulder. Robert Chen had been reviewing quarterly reports on his tablet, but he paused, glancing down at the woman who dozed off beside him. Warmth in the narration, he saw her worn hands, one cradling the sleeping child, the other clutching a faded purse. He noticed her sensible but tired shoes, her uniform polo peeking out from beneath a plaid flannel jacket. And he saw something else, too. The same expression his own mother used to wear years ago when she'd worked 3 jobs to put him through school. A decisive moment, Robert carefully set down his tablet. Moving slowly so as not to disturb her, he adjusted his posture slightly to make his shoulder more comfortable. Then he simply sat still, protecting this small moment of rest for a stranger who clearly needed it. Peaceful progression, 3 stops passed, then 4. Other passengers came and went, some glancing curiously at the unusual scene. The well-dressed businessman in his tailored navy blazer, and the exhausted woman resting against him. A child nestled between them. Robert met their gazes calmly, a slight smile on his face that discouraged any judgment. Gentle awakening, Margaret stirred as the bus hit a pothole, her eyes fluttering open in that disoriented way we all wake from unexpected sleep. For a moment she didn't understand where she was. Then awareness flooded in, along with horrified embarrassment. Her realization she'd been sleeping on a stranger's shoulder, a complete stranger, on a public bus. Margaret's voice would be mortified but kind. "Oh my goodness," she gasped, jerking upright so quickly that Emma whimpered in her sleep. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I must have just—" Robert's calm, gentle response. "Please, don't apologize," Robert said warmly, his voice carrying the measured kindness of someone who'd lived enough life to know what truly mattered. "You looked like you needed the rest." Margaret's flustered explanation, Margaret's cheeks flushed. "I work 2 jobs, and I'm raising my granddaughter alone, and It's been a long day, but that's no excuse for falling asleep on you like that. I'm truly sorry." A moment of understanding, Robert studied her face, the worry lines, the strength in her eyes, the love evident in how she held the child. "My mother raised me alone," he said quietly. "She used to fall asleep on the bus, too, coming home from work. I always wish someone had been kind to her in those moments." The conversation deepens. Something in his tone made Margaret pause. She looked at him more carefully now, really looked. She saw the expensive watch, the quality of his clothing, but more than that, she saw genuine compassion in his eyes, a small smile. "Your mother did a good job," Margaret said softly. Not everyone would have let a stranger drool on their shoulder. Light moment. "You didn't drool," Robert assured her with a slight smile. "I checked." They both laughed gently. They shared a quiet laugh, the kind that comes easily between people who understand life's struggles. Emma stirred again, her eyes opening to reveal sleepy confusion. "Emma's sweet innocence? Grammy?" she murmured, her small voice thick with sleep. Margaret's tender response. "Right here, sweetheart," Margaret soothed, kissing her granddaughter's forehead. "We'll be home soon. Robert's observation, Grammy?" Robert asked gently. "Not Mom?" A pause, then Margaret explains. Margaret's expression shifted, carrying the weight of a story that too many families know. "Her mother, my daughter. She's been struggling with addiction for 2 years now. Emma's been with me since she was 18 months old. I'm trying to give her the stability her mama can't right now." Understanding and respect. Robert nodded slowly, no judgment in his face, only respect. "That's a hard road you're walking." Margaret's honest moment. "Some days harder than others," Margaret admitted. "But when she looks at me with those eyes, trusts me completely. I'd walk through fire for her." The bus continues. They rode in comfortable silence for another moment, the bus swaying gently through the evening streets. Then Robert did something unexpected. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a business card. "Robert's offer, Robert Chen," he said, handing it to her. "I run a company downtown, Chen Industries. We're always looking for good people in various departments. If you're interested in consolidating those 2 jobs into one position with better hours and benefits, please call me." Margaret's shock. Margaret stared at the card, then at him, her eyes widening. "You don't even know me." "I could be anyone." Robert's wisdom. "I know you're someone who works 2 jobs to care for your granddaughter," Robert said simply. "I know you're exhausted but still gentle. I know you apologize for something anyone would have done. That tells me enough." Emotional moment, Margaret's eyes filled with tears. Why would you do this?" Robert's truth. Robert's voice carried the warmth of memory. "Because 35 years ago, a businessman on a bus gave my mother a chance when she needed it most. He saw past her tired uniform to who she really was. That job changed our lives. Maybe I can pay that forward." The revelation. "You're that businessman?" Margaret whispered. "The one who... You're Robert Chen? The Robert Chen?" Small-town recognition. She'd seen his name in the local paper, read about his company's charity work, his reputation for fair employment practices and supporting working families. Robert's humble response. "I'm just someone who remembers what it was like to watch my mother struggle," he said quietly, "and who has the ability now to make someone's life a little easier." The bus arrives. The bus pulled up to Margaret's stop. She stood slowly, Emma now awake and clinging to her neck, both of them staring at Robert with wonder. Margaret's gratitude. "I'll call," Margaret said, her voice thick with emotion. "I don't know what to say except thank you. Not just for the card, but for the shoulder, for the kindness, for seeing me." Robert's final words. "We all need a shoulder sometimes," Robert replied, standing as well. "Call tomorrow. Ask for me directly. We'll find something that works for you and your granddaughter." Margaret did call the next day, and true to his word, Robert found her a position managing the employee wellness program, using her years of experience caring for others to help improve working conditions for everyone in the company. Emma started attending the company's on-site childcare center, and sometimes, on special occasions, she'd visit Mr. Chen in his office, the kind man from the bus who gave her Grammy a shoulder to lean on when she needed it most.